Let the bot battle begin. Both bots went up. Oh, big hit there to start off the match. No, another good hit. Gigabyte has been completely redesigned since its last fight. It's a bit smaller and less powerful, but it still packs a decent punch and is a lot more reliable. And it is taking these hits and dishing out some own hits in return. Both bots 0-1 and can't. Well, they could afford a second loss, but it's not going to go well. Blue Flame, he lands a big hit. And another one. Nice shot there by that drum spinner. And oh, Gigabyte sends Blue Flame spinning. Oh, huge hit there by Blue Flame. Blue Flame seems to be at the advantage right now, but only time will tell which one of these bots will come out on top. And there's another big hit. Blue Flame seems to take some damage to his frame, as you might have caught, maybe not. Oh, and another big hit. And you can see Blue Flame is taking some damage, but it is controlling this fight. Oh, and there goes Blue Flame's wedge. This fight has turned completely on its head, and Gigabyte has the complete advantage now. And there's the flip. Blue Flame invertible, but not moving well. And he's not going to move well now that he's blown into several pieces. The countdown has started. Gigabyte has won this fight and gotten an important win. This fight was a very back and forth one, with both bots landing good hits. And it was really hard to tell who would come out on top. Blue Flame seemed to be landing some better hits, some more impactful shots, like right there, or popping Gigabyte into the air. But eventually that wedge came off. Gigabyte flipped Blue Flame and then tore it apart. Let the bot battle begin. Two bots that have rhyming names and one judge's decisions in their last fights. Shatter again underneath Mad Catter to start. And oh, nearly flipping. I think they actually did flip Mad Catter. Shatter is in control right now. Mad Catter can't get underneath those forks, and that is very bad news for Mad Catter. They are not the lowest. Shatter getting the low ground and slamming Mad Catter into the wall, but they lost one of their forks. Now Mad Catter getting underneath, ripping off the second one, flipping Shatter over. Oh, and again, big hit there by Mad Catter. Now he's got them on the screws. Oh my goodness. What a turnaround by Mad Catter. Shatter thrown out of the arena, and they're getting counted out. Mad Catter 2-0. Shatter had its forks, it was doing quite well, easily slipping underneath Mad Catter and slamming into the wall, but once it lost that first fork, Mad Catter got underneath and took it to town, getting him flipped over on the screws and then out of the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Just so Black Dragon last episode, looks like they've themselves back together and they are going head to head with Tracer. Some good hits. Now pushing Tracer back. Oh, first big hit of the match. Both bots get flipped. Black Dragon is invertible, Tracer's not. And there, Black Dragon is taking it to Tracer. He's beating them up right now and nearly throwing them out of the arena, trying to prove themselves after they got absolutely destroyed, but Tracer's back right up and they're flipped over again, and they just tap Tracer and he goes flying. What a performance by Black Dragon. They are rising to 1-1 with a very strong win. Black Dragon did not waste much time flipping Tracer over. They did try to throw him out of the arena, but settled for flipping him back over and then just sending him into the wall with a small hit. Let the bot battle begin. Two bots with very strong wins in their last fights, but Sawblaze clearly proving to be the lower bot, and putting Duck onto the screws, drops the hammer saw, and Duck is now upside down. Sawblaze trying to be a vertical spinner now, but can't quite get the hit, and now pinning Duck up against the corner of the pit and the arena. Sawblaze is in control of this fight, and at the moment, now Duck's in the screws again, and there's another shot from that hammer saw. The Sawblaze, just like against Witch Doctor, is smothering his opponent, brings down the weapon again, though he has lost one of his 3 forks. Now now Duck is in a very tight spot here, but Sawblaze just keeps taking more damage as Duck gets out of that small area, but Sawblaze just keeps throwing him around the arena, pushing him around, now pinning him again, spinning up the weapon, and snaps that lifter. You can't see it there. Now you can, kind of. Sawblaze is taking out Duck's primary weapon, making this a lot easier, and ripping off part of the wedge. I don't think we saw this much damage from that hammer saw in the Witch Doctor fight, but Sawblaze is just ruining Duck right now. And dropping that hammer saw and dealing with some serious damage, trying to rip the wedges off. Sawblaze is just falling apart now. We'll have to see if Duck can capitalize on that. Even with no forks, Sawblaze is still consistently getting underneath Duck. And now he pins Duck again. Sawblaze, I think that hit took off one of the wedges of Duck. I can't tell from the stage. But there goes part of a wedge. I actually don't think Sawblaze has ripped off a wedge yet. And there's another hit. Sawblaze is dropping that weapon and is looking to knock out Duck with that hammer saw. Not quite sure how that's going to work, but and now you can see one of the wedges has indeed been moved off of Duck. Sawblaze completely dominating this fight. Jeez! Duck gets on the screws and now thrown to the wall. They've lost that other wedge. Sawblaze, without any of its 3 forks, has continued to dominate this fight, and that hammer saw keeps falling down. And I think this fight is going to go to the judges. Geez, Sawblaze, absolutely dominant. And there's another hit. And this is going to be the end of a brutal fight. Sawblaze controlled the fight from the very start, ever since he flipped Duck over that first time. Sawblaze, despite falling apart, threw Duck around the arena, was able to snap that lifter in a single perfect strike, and just continued to lay into Duck. Despite not having its forks, it was still able to control the match, control Duck, and was able to rip that first wedge off, and then throw Duck around in the screws, and then rip off that second wedge in a beautiful slam. Let the bot battle begin. And Endgame already getting ready to Standalone has already got him in the screws. Very good, very poor start for Standalone. And Endgame, Endgame was already celebrating, but Standalone was able to get out of the screws. But I don't think this is going to go well for Standalone. Endgame able to get underneath, and another hit, flips both bots. And oh my goodness. Endgame nearly throws Standalone out of the arena, but Standalone not able to do anything, not able to even self-rate properly most of the time. Standalone been taking some big hits from Endgame. Well, he's taking the hits quite well, I will admit, and he's going flying through the air. Big hit there by the Endgame, and again. And Standalone has been taking an absolute beating in this fight. When is Endgame gonna land the death blow? I'm not sure. Oh, and another big hit, but still, he can't quite get it. And there he goes. Endgame throws Standalone out of the arena. What a different performance from his last fight against Bloodsport. What a win. Endgame just got underneath Standalone at will, landing hit after hit, throwing him into the screws. No sense. That nearly took out Standalone that one attack. But the Endgame landed some big hits in there, showed off the power of its weapon, but couldn't quite land the killer blow until about around here, where Standalone once again failed to self-rate, and then Endgame just took him out. Let the bot battle begin. Two bots with very different 0-1s, and Extinguisher already controlling the fight, landing good hits on Onager and taking him around the arena. You're trying to throw him out. You can't quite see him now, but now you can. Onager needs to get that flipper between Extinguisher's forks, but it's not quite going well, and oh, what a hit by Extinguisher! We haven't expected this Extinguisher. What a very good win for them in their second fight. Extinguisher needed to prove itself, and it absolutely did. Easily controlling and Onager and getting good hits, and then threw them out of the air in a massive hit. Expect a lot from Extinguisher. Let the main event begin. The powerful spinner of Tantrum versus the powerful flipper of Apollo. Apollo can't quite get its flipper into Tantrum in his weapon system, and Tantrum getting underneath. Oh, big shot there. Now Apollo's flipped, and there's part of the arena wall gone. Tantrum throws Apollo into the screws, and again, yeesh. Tantrum showing some serious power here. And oh no, Apollo's flipper has been ripped off. This is Tantrum's fight to lose now against basically a box. Tantrum lining up. Oh my goodness, what a hit by Tantrum, and they throw Apollo into the screws again. This is Tantrum. We knew it was powerful after the Arctic Wind fight, but not this powerful, and they just ended it with Apollo. No match for the raw fury of the fists of Tantrum.
3, 2, 1,
Tantrum controlled the entirety of that fight, landing big hits on Apollo from the start. Then they ripped off the flipper of Apollo. And then they launched Apollo twice, about a couple inches into the air, before finally throwing the white box out of the arena.